This is the Fort Revere Museum, former officers' quarters for Fort Revere. It was built early 20th century to house an officer and his family. This would be for a married officer. A single officer would have been housed elsewhere. This building is quite common for across the country, wherever the officer was. Standard military construction. Consists of a kitchen, living room, dining room on the first floor, and several bedrooms and bathroom on the second floor. It was a duplex, so the other half of the house would have been the same thing. The Fort Revere was occupied as Fort Revere from approximately 1898 to 1947 as part of the coastal defense system. Was on both coasts, both the Pacific and the Atlantic and the Gulf Coast, to try to ward off any potential invasion by sea. Prior to that, this land was originally Fort Independence in the Revolutionary War. It was fortified by the Americans and the French to prevent the British from trying to regain Boston Harbor. And Fort Revere does occupy a very strategic point to the entrance of Boston Harbor by way of Nantasket Roads, one of the major shipping channels into Boston Harbor. The military museum we have here gives you a little bit snapshot, both the Revolutionary War period when it was Fort Independence, and then the early 20th century period when it was Fort Revere. Fort Revere was much larger, extended from the top of the hill all the way down to the shore where the Jacob School now stands, and includes Spinnaker Island, which was then Fort Duval, a subsidiary fort. It was there were a lot of men here during both World War I and World War II. They would have been training for going overseas and so forth. Would have been a small amount of men here during interwar period. After World War II, the U.S. military realized that the coastal defense system was outdated, so they decommissioned the fort, and the land was sold off. The town took some, private developers took other pieces. This is a DCR fort, Department of Conservation and Recreation, a state agency. The DCR owns part of the property, and the town of Hull owns other portions of the property. The museum was actually put together by the Fort Revere Park and Preservation Society, which is a support group for the fort. So we try to have the museum open as often as we can, though we do rely on volunteers. And also we try to have the Fort Revere Tower open as well.
DCI uses 2005.
Right.